It's nice to have a break. Oh, well, that changes things. I still think he shouldn't be writing about something as serious as armor smithing, but if he's just a kid, I guess I can cut him some slack. A letter? Yeah, fine. Give it to me. I'll read it. Arden. Well, damn it. That kid seems really nice. I'll write back to him. I'll reply to all his letters. I feel foolish for ever wishing him ill. He's just a young guy fascinated by the craft. If I'd heard my teenage self rambling about blacksmithing, I'd smacked myself over the head with a hammer. Thank you for finding him. Who knows? Maybe in a few years he'll grow into a really promising apprentice.
Have some spare food or coin? Anything else?
What do you want?
Well, if you want to buy eggs, go talk to the missus. Though consider yourself warned. You eat them at your own peril. No need to worry. Yeah, the missus told me to say that to anyone asking after the eggs. Or grains, or veggies, or anything, really. So they know not to come crying if they find ears growing in unmentionable places. Not that it happens very often. Just, you know, what you see is what you get. Nothing wrong. Well, not at the moment. We'll see how the next crop comes in. It's been a bit hit and miss lately. The wheat was a nice surprise because, you know, it's the wrong season, and we were worried about the glowing. But it turned out to be perfectly good wheat. On the other hand, the turnips were not so good. We fed them to the pig as we always do, and it turned her inside out. Poor thing, eh? Maybe it's time to move the plots within the range of the weirdness repellents again. Aye, that we do. 'Twas getting into the crops one way or the other, so why not use it, you know? You see, with the weirdness, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But the good has saved us from starving to death. I ate potatoes that looked like pig hearts and carrots that tasted like what standing in a field in the middle of the night feels like. All perfectly nice food. I say, it's better to have a meal that's a tiny bit different than what you're used to, than not to have one at all. Well, I'll be damned. They actually work. Fields look almost normal now. Aye, it's a good start. Not a solution, but better than nothing. We'll make the most of it. Hard to say. A season, maybe. Maybe more, if we're lucky. The weirdness doesn't exactly play by rules. Aye, it may be. But it's not like we got a long stretch to live, the missus and I. We didn't want to just lie down and wait for death. And I bet we ain't the only ones. What else are folks to do in this blasted weather? All ready for winter, but winter won't come. And if winter won't come, neither will spring. The last normal harvest came and went ages ago. I'm telling you, if not for the weirdness, we'd all be dead by now. And make my missus a widow? Ha! The whole area's full of monsters, and they sure ain't edible. We tried that once, and, well, let's just say we never tried it again. I see. You're with those Camelotians who want to run us out. We've already told your lot. We ain't going anywhere. If we die here, then so be it. And I ain't talking about it no more, so don't even...
Another one? We've had enough strangers in Connacht. You lot bring nothing but trouble. Which ones do you want to hear about? The Camelotians who want to take Armenier and rob us of our land? Or the Red Priests knocking on everyone's door and dragging people out into the streets? We already had enough problems without all those prissy arseholes adding to them. Aye, more of them every day. And no just in the village either. I saw a few of the younger ones wandering around outside, looking for trouble. They say they're looking for people sick with the Red Death, but all they do is drag decent people out of their homes and haul them off to all mother knows where. And people still get taken by the plague, so what good are they? Bunch of quacks. The Camelotians are saying our Mynheer is dying, and when it goes out, we'll get snuffed by the weirdness. Vipers, the lot of them! Yvain brought them here a while ago to help with the Coon Act. That's what he told us, anyway. And now? Now they want to take our Mynheer. Pah! Not just the Mynheer. They want to take everything. They're saying all the folks here will have to move. All mother only knows where. My old man won't hear a word of it. And you know what? I don't blame him. We've worked too hard. We've gone through too much to just leave everything behind. Aye, why no? Everyone says me auntie's girl got touched by the weirdness, but she's still here, ain't she? Besides, we know the weirdness. We live with it every day. If it kills me, then so be it. There's no much left for me in this world anyway. Go talk to her and you'll see. I might be an old woman, but I am no one to gossip. our priestess. Or rather, Yvain's priestess. Because we haven't seen hide nor hair of her in ages. She took Ailey in, and that ended up being a blessing for us all. She might be a little odd with that eye of hers, but she's a sweet girl. I know some do. The two brothers from the neighbouring farm, they can't wait to be rid of that place. But it's no wonder, with the life they've had there. Truth be told, if I were in their shoes, I'd have run for the hills ages ago. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Makes no difference to me. They could promise me a palace and I still wouldn't leave. This farm belonged to my father, and it belonged to his father before him. When my older brother died, I promised Pa I would nae let this place fall to ruin. I hoped to pass this land on to my children, but, well, they ended up buried in it. It's only fair that I should rest here with them. Ha! Welcome in, you say, when your lot just barges in and takes whatever you please. Like old Norm's woodshed. That got requisitioned by Camelot. They shoved some fancy paper in his face and said, "This is ours now." They say it's all fair because no one got compensated. But what about us, huh? We lent Norm our best axe ages ago, and he left it in that bloody shed. Why? Huh. Maybe you do. But I don't trust folks who offer things for free. They always want something sooner or later. We may not have much, but we're honest folk. Bring me back that axe and I'll pay you. Just don't get caught. Eggs, some veggies. There's no much to spare, but we share what we can.
My, what a fine lad you are. Were I a touch younger, I'd consider running away with you. Reginald be damned. As you should be. I used to be quite the catch back in the day, you know. I didn't make it easy for Reginald to win me over, but he was always a stubborn man. It flattered me, that stubbornness. I should have listened to my mother when she told me a headstrong husband is just as bad as a lazy one. One does nothing, the other wants everything done his way. But I thought I knew better, and now, here I am. Every marriage has its ups and downs, especially one that's lasted as long as ours. We worked hard our whole lives, raised our children right. I had hoped for a little peace at the end of the road, but now they say the weirdness is coming, and my husband insists we stay. I know I don't have much time left, but there are better ways to die than in the fog. It is hard. I'm not saying it's not, but we wouldn't be begging for the kindness of strangers. We have a son in Burrow. He already wrote and said he'd take us in. But Reginald said no, and that was the end of it. Take care out there.
You need something? Huh? Who goes there? You're not from round here, are you? Whatever you've got to say, I'm not interested. I'm not going anywhere. Good, because I won't. Love? Nah, it's a shithole. All my life I've watched it turn into a dump, and it only got worse without lordling at the helm. But I gave everything I had to this land. We've had good years, sure. But we've also had years when we went hungry for days so our kids wouldn't starve. The weirdness, just another storm to weather. Everything'll turn out fine in the long run. And make sure it stays that way. And you've been through many droughts in your life. If you had, you'd know there's nothing simple about them. You just stand there and watch your crops die, praying for rain that never comes, wondering if your children are strong enough to survive this one. And the fat years aren't much better. You grow tall crops, and then you gotta strain your ears for straw children skulking around at harvest, until the weirdness can make work in the land any worse than it already is. Mora's always been a worrywart. If anything goes awry, it's the end of the world for her. And don't even get me started on the nagging. Everything'll be fine. It always is, in the end. Besides, we won't be alone. Reese and Ida are staying, and they know how to work around the weirdness better than anyone. And do what? Fart into a bench and mooch off my children? I'd rather die than become the kind of father who turns into a burden. As long as I can lift a hoe, I'll work the fields. And if I can't do that anymore, then what good am I? No, I won't become a useless old man. I'd rather keel over here and now. Huh.
Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. You really shouldn't have done that.
You lost or what?
Come on. We can't sell Daisy. We're gonna need her.
What we're going to need is money, and she'll fetch a good price.
We still need to move somehow, don't we? She could pull the cart.
We have Clover for that. Look, I know how much this horse means to you, but I've already talked to Dinholm. He's willing to pay a lot of gold for her.
But what if we...
No, Gil. Enough. We're selling her, and that's that.
I hope that Camelotian knows what a treasure he's getting. Daisy's not just any horse. She's the best one he'll ever have. I guess. I've spent a lot of time with him. Rob would always send me to the stables when I was getting underfoot. He'd say, "Gil, you go to the stables and don't you show your face again until I tell you." I guess I must have been an annoying kid. I do. Pa had to borrow money from Grandpa to buy it, and he had to work so hard to prove that he deserved it. After he and Ma passed away, Rob kept on working, and I did my best to help. Grandpa was, well, I don't know. I didn't see much of him in those days. And now we're supposed to just leave after everything. It feels like we're letting him down. It does give you some hope, doesn't it? The lanterns make it feel like the farm can breathe again, even if it's just for a while. That's more than we've had in years. We'd have to make it work. More lanterns, more help. I don't know. Maybe the weirdness isn't something you can fight forever, but I'm not ready to let it win. Have a nice day.
If you're interested in buying a horse, look somewhere else. This one's spoken for. She'll be going all the way to Camelot. Haven't you heard? They're moving everyone. Something to do with that Menhir of ours. Don't really care either way. As long as they keep their promises and give us a better place to live. Aye, and Ma and Pa would rather us alive somewhere else than dead here. Don't know yet, but we're strong and we're not afraid of hard work. I'm a decent carpenter, and Gil is good with horses. I'm sure we'll find something for ourselves. I know. He loves this place, and he loves his horses. I'd rather just forget all about it. Gil's memories of this farm are different from my own, and I only have myself to blame. Mind you, I don't regret any of it, but it sure doesn't make things easier with him. Yeah, they're doing their job. For now. But let's not kid ourselves. This is a delay, not a solution. We've got time to think, and that's about it. I've seen enough to know this place isn't safe. Staying means taking a gamble, and I'm not a fan of bad odds. We should leave while we still can. If it gets worse, we'll have no choice but to leave. I just hope we'll have something worth bringing with us when that time comes. He told you that, eh? But yeah, if I saw that old bastard getting drunk, I just told Gil to go tend the horses. Grandpa had a heavy hand, and Gil was really small back then. I was scared that he'd hit him too hard. I bet Gil thinks I always did it because he was pissing me off. That's one way of putting it. His farm belonged to our grandfather. My parents were tending it, but he was the one in charge. Both Ma and Pa died when Gil was still small. That left us with just dear old Grandpa. And he was a nasty piece of work. Drunk most of the time. Built like a barn door. That's something Gil got from him, I guess. He liked beating me to a pulp and telling me I was worthless. I remember he had this belt with a heavy iron buckle, shaped like a horse's head. He got it for his service as the master of horses at Warrior's Fair. Man, that one hit hard. Shame the old codger took it with him to his grave. I wish I could have kept it. So when I'd see some lowlife beating their kid, I could use it on them just like Grandpa taught me. What? Where the hell did you get that? A weird beast? So what does that mean? Grandpa got drunk, fell into the well, and got turned into a monster? Ha! That would have been rich. But strange. Gil swore that he saw him walking into the woods. Why? Do you think he saw something and was afraid to tell me? Maybe. He was acting a little strange, but... I was in bad shape that day, so I didn't care either way. I don't think we've ever talked about it afterwards. No matter. As long as the old fart's dead, I don't care how it happened. Would it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't see the point in dragging up the past. Though, perhaps that's what Gil needs to finally let go of this place. Anyway, thanks for this. And for clearing out the well, I guess. We don't have much, but I hope this will be enough for your trouble. Sure are you? You willing to pay 300? Fine, you have a deal. Denholm will need to find himself a different mare.
Take care of yourself.